welcome to another episode of Jones Underground YouTube edition.
What's going on, y'all? Long time no see.
Oh man, just another week in the life. We got that fresh. Shout out to Gemini Barbershop.
Feeling himself. And I got that fresh shout out to myself because I know what I'm doing.
She got that wavy dog. She got that wavy.
Yeah.
It looked like $1 million.
Hey, say it again.
Like $1 million.
Anyway.
But we want to get into a few responses from people leaving comments.
Right.
Well, number one, I just want to say thank you for everybody commenting. If you can, hey, we know a lot of people are looking at us and doing a thing on Facebook, but if y'all can go on YouTube and leave some of those likes and comments there.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's really great to know that a lot of people are affected and touched by what we're talking about and they have an opinion on it. And that's all well and good, but it was a lot of comments and they were great ones, but we would love them to be on the video. So definitely take heed and help us out with that, and we would greatly appreciate it. But let's go ahead and get into it. So last week we had a video that was entitled Submission in a Relationship, and basically we were talking about primarily marriages, more so than just a regular relationship, but we were talking about the role that between the two people, and should a woman be submissive? There was a question about women being submissive in marriages, and we tried to dive in on our own takes of it to see if it was, and to just express what we felt about it. I was talking about myself, I won't talk about him, but I personally felt that it was a good thing for a woman to be submissive. And primarily I felt that way because, growing up the way that I grew up, and my mom and everything that she taught me, that wife, the man is the head of that household. And don't get me wrong, you would like for that man to be doing what he's supposed to do, being 100, keeping it honest, being present, everything that a true man should be doing. You would want that to happen, but in some cases it doesn't happen, which is what you dived in a little bit too, right, as well.
But the thing, I posted something on my Instagram this week that said, if I lead the right way, then the woman will submit naturally. Now, first, I'm not going to say that's always the case, but what I'm trying to say, or my take on it, was just basically men need to work with their wives, submit to their wives, the same way as a woman needs to submit to their husbands. That's how that was written in the book of Ephesians, if we were going by the biblical standard.
Yeah.
And so many people, and I was telling her earlier today, we put a whole lot of a relationship on the woman. As far as her making the household work, trying to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and, booking, now you got to take care of this man. And we have to understand that this is a team. This is not just, this dude's the captain and the woman does everything else. No, it's a team. We're supposed to be a partnership.
I agree with that. I'm also disagree with it. I do believe it's a team, but I believe that nurturing, because nurturing is something that us women do. We have that ability naturally. I'm not saying men don't, but I am saying that, traditionally women took care of the home. Now, I'm not saying we're not in a new day, because I do believe in women being courageous, being boss women, getting out there doing what you have to do. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that traditionally, the wife made sure that the house was at least held together, you know, even if it's through, you know, I'm not saying she had to go and do the laundry all the time or do that, but she made sure that the people in the home were well taken care of. She didn't let, you know, things that the husband would miss. She made sure that she jumped right in and was able to say, I got it. You know, you don't have to worry about it because I've got it. So that was something that I found personally interesting, that I don't know if we touched on or not, but I think that is a very, very important thing. But I want to go ahead and say some of the comments that we saw. I want to verbally go at some of the comments. One person posted about a movie called War Room, and a lot of you all, I'm not sure if you all have seen the movie. I've seen the movie. I'm not sure if, have you seen the movie?
No, I have not seen
Okay, so I might need to have them see it. No spoilers, except for this. So basically in the movie War Room, the woman's husband was cheating on her. And he was cheating on her and seeing this woman. And then the day that he went to actually sleep with her, she was just praying, and she was like, Lord, she went into her prayer closet and she was just like, Lord, I ask that if there's anything he's going to do, even if he hasn't done it yet and it's been in his mind, even if he's going to do it, I ask that you stop him. Like, whatever, by any means necessary, stop him. Don't let him break our family up like that. And so this woman had to find a way to still be submissive to her husband, knowing full well that he was cheating. Now, I'm not saying everybody is able to do that, but this particular person that pointed it out was just saying, like, that was, you know, sometimes you have to just buckle down and be very prayerful and stay submissive and still take care of your home, take care of your husband, even if he's not doing right. And I thought that was a very gusty comment because a lot of people don't know. He giving me these looks, but a lot of women they find that hard. It's like, once you've broken trust, don't look for submission. Don't look for me to do all of these different things. And some women feel that way.
I'm looking at you because that is an extreme case of...
It's not an extreme case because that happens every day. A lot of people will say
I'm
that.
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm saying, look, when we looking at these relationships where the women do work, the women are earning income, that the women are out here taking care of business, and you with somebody who is, you know, who is not doing right by you. We'll say that. They out here having their fun, having their cake, eating it too, however you want to say it. And you trying to, you know, when we talk about, yeah, in the movie, the lady may have been submissive and in her prayer closet and everything else, but it's like what I told you. If you in a situation where somebody is dogging you out and you stand in that relationship, sometimes you have to have enough integrity and enough respect for yourself to walk away from that situation.
So are you saying that you don't have, I'm sorry y'all, but so you saying you don't have integrity if you decide to stay?
No, I'm not saying that you don't or do, but I'm saying this. If you're in a relationship and someone is hurting you, they are literally taking advantage of you, and you are staying in that relationship, then that does, at some level, say something about you and how you feel you should or should not be treated. You can leave a situation. That's why I sit here and say we put a lot on women, because in that situation, we had a man going out, cheating, doing what he was doing, and she was at home praying. Women, y'all don't have to do that.
But, I mean, she was a working woman. She was a real estate agent, and she worked full-time. And then, just like him, like he worked full-time, she came home, still managed to cook dinner in time, still managed to clean up the house and all of this.
Right.
But she was consuming her time with... pretty much with thinking about what he was doing wrong and what he was doing, and her last resort was, okay, let me turn to prayer. And I think that sometimes your mindset is like, well, you know, oh, he this and this, and you feel bad. And she had a friend that she was like venting to, like, yeah, I just can't believe him. I can't believe this. But I think what happens is, I agree with him to an extent that if you feel, and I'm going to say it this way, if you feel that the unhappiness or the broken trust and everything like that leads you to leave, or it's something that you know you gotta leave, you can't bear it, you won't be able to move past it, then yeah, leave. But I feel like, you know, everything deserves a fighting chance. I think that not everything like beating and stuff like that. I just mean, like, you know, if you're in this marriage and this starts happening, it's never happened before, all of a sudden it happens. Yeah, I wouldn't be the type. I'm not the type that says give up. You know, I'm not the type that says, oh, just let it go, it'll be all, you know, just let him go and move on to the next. I'm gonna be kind of like, nah, let me fight for what's mine.
Well, my thing is, when we talk about submission in a relationship, and I understand we had a lot of comments on this, a lot of us grew up in single parent households where we didn't have the most healthy relationships to look up to give us the definition of what that was. A lot of us grew up where we didn't have a dad, or, you know, a few of us didn't have moms in the household when we were growing up. And so we pretty much, there was no relationship. We were just under that one parent. And sometimes the relationships we did witness were, they may not have been, you know, on that standard. So we have issues now that we grown, now that we married, now that we going through relationships. We have issues really thinking about what is submission, what is right, what is wrong, when should I leave, when is too much. And once again, y'all gotta have those conversations. You gotta have that talk. But at the end of the day, the submission thing is a team. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
We should not, us as men should not expect no woman to be holding the house down, cooking and cleaning, while working a full-time job and taking care of the kids, while we out doing dirt.
Like, okay, so this is a good segue into, I'm going to touch on one more comment, but this is a good segue into the other thing that we were talking about. Someone sent me like this text that's kind of going viral of this man and this woman, and the man is basically like, hey, you know, I cook. I cook. He's like, I work, I pay the mortgage, I take care of the family. If there's anything that needs to happen structurally with the house or the car or whatever, I do all of that. You know, I think it would be nice if you would, you know, if I need like long johns, or if I need like socks or something, that at least the least thing you could do is buy that. And she was like, what? You are a grown man. You can buy that stuff for yourself, basically. And the guy was like, okay, you know what? We'll talk about it later. So I asked him, I'm like, okay, so what do you think about that? Because my mindset on the matter is if this man is taking care of everything in the house, there's nothing that you have to worry about as far as if something breaks, you ain't the one to fix it, or you don't have to be the one to find someone. He'll do that. If it comes to the rent or whatever, he's paying it. He's over all of those things. So if he's handling all of that, you know, I'm not saying that he's not capable of buying his own underwear or his own socks or his own long johns. I'm not saying that he can't do that. What I am saying is that you as a woman, if you're not working or if you have more free time, why not do it? What's the problem? Where is the issue in being the type where, I mean, honestly, you know, if you can take off one extra stress off his mind, then let it be that. Hey, I bought you some more socks. I washed your clothes today. I saw your socks, you know, had some holes in them. I bought you some more. You know, it doesn't take anything from you. It doesn't make you I'm so subservient. What's the word I'm looking for? Subservient. I'm so subservient to this man, or blah blah blah. It doesn't make you that. It just means that you are thinking beyond yourself. You're thinking of, how can I make life my husband easier for you? How can I catch this before you catch it?
Let me be the voice of
Oh man, I already know what that means.
I tell her this text message was the result. It's like when you see a crater and the crater's all busted open, and you don't know what hit it and what blew it open, but you do know that something happened to make this big hole in the ground. The hole in the ground is her going off. Apparently, our man here, which they're supposed to be a married couple, was asking the wife, like, hey, can we get some Long Johns or something or whatever, that she should see his needs in advance of him having to ask for them, which, once again, a lot of us have grown up in households where, you know, she may not have known that, hey, this is something I could or was supposed to do in this relationship. Or maybe the man could have easily said, hey, could you please get me some Long Johns, some underwear while I'm working, or something like that. But see, the thing is, the man sent her a message as if he assumed she knew that was her role. And by him basically saying, hey, you're supposed to be doing this and you're not doing this, she responded to him as if, like, you know, when you get rolled up at your job or something.
Well, he didn't say it like you should. He said you could be doing this, but you're not.
Hold up. And that's what happens.
There's a difference between the word you should be doing this and you could be doing this.
But that's what happens on your job, or when somebody come at you and they say you could do this. When you get in that coaching on your job and you like, I really did everything I was supposed to do, but y'all still coming at me. That's how that woman came at him. Like, you're a grown man and you asking me to look for your underwear and stuff. Now, my first thought was this. Before he sent that text message, he should have had that talk. What talk am I talking about? That talk about, hey, this is what I'm expecting of you. This is what I would like for you to do. These are things that you can do for me. And this talk should have been had before they was married. And if you're still having an issue, you should have had to talk several times before they got married. But see, my man didn't have to talk, which is why he's talking about what she could be doing, and which is why he got gone off on, because apparently she didn't know that that was her role in the situation. She didn't know that that's what he was looking for. And that's how he got responded to like that. And my whole thing is this. You have to set expectations in these relationships. You can't just all of a sudden get married and, all right, now I expect you to be barefoot and pregnant. Or you get married, I expect you to have this house clean and my drawers and clothes set out every morning and my bath water ready for me when I get home. No. If this is what you expected before you got married, then you should have explained this and had that talk before you got married.
And I feel like also this is I like what you said, but I also feel like this is also one of those areas where you begin to see, like, there are some couples that the woman will do these things before they get married, and then after they've been married for a year, 2 years, whatever,
They fall out.
she's not doing it. Or forget a year and 2 years, right when y'all move in together, or it just, she ain't doing nothing, you know? And, you know, then you're thinking like, whoa, we done got married and this is not really what you were on, but this is what you sold me. You know, when we got together, when we said we were going to get married, I was thinking I was buying into this particular persona of you, and it could be completely different.
I'm gonna offend all my church people. If this is why when you live with someone, this is why you live with someone before you get married, even if it's a couple of months. If y'all been together for a year, y'all living in the same house, you know what you're dealing with before you walk down that aisle. Because if you don't know what you waking up next to, you don't know how she gonna respond in the morning, you don't know what that time of the month is like, all that other stuff that go down where it can change her mood and everything else, how y'all gonna operate as a family, who's paying what bills, when she can and can't go shopping, when you can and go out and do what you want to do. You need to really understand who you dealing with before you put a ring on that finger and you say under God, and then 2 weeks later, you texting her like, I need Long Johns and you ain't buy nothing. She's like, well, you a grown man. Why ain't you buy nothing?
I agree and disagree. I do think that you can not necessarily live with each other, and it might still work, and things will still work out. I've seen cases where that has happened. I don't think it's permanent, or that's a goal in every situation.
No.
I think that there are some situations where you might do that, but I also think that if you're the type of person that you have been bamboozled a lot, I can say my past, I've been sort of bamboozled by a lot of people, but then living with someone is kind of important to you, because you've been able to see these people that all of a sudden 1 minute they're okay, and then the next minute it's like you don't even know who they are.
But let me explain this. I'm not saying that, hey, you should date someone for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, and move in. Man, we got kids living in the house, and some of these kids are teenagers, and no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're in a long-term relationship, like y'all been dating for a year, going on a whole year
I
and a
don't
half,
really
2
think
years.
of a year as long term.
No, but, well, I do. But my whole point of the matter is,
Oh my
if you with
God.
somebody that long and you don't know what you dealing with, like you don't know who, you don't know if she gonna buy you socks and long johns, or you don't know if dinner gonna be ready when you get home. You don't know if you stopping off at McDonald's every night. There's the stuff that you need to know before you walk down that aisle. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying move somebody in with you the first month or two of dating them, because at the end of the day, people crazy out here. And once again, you don't know who you're really dealing with, so you want to give that time, especially when you got kids in relationships and people come around your kids and things of that nature. But my point is, y'all need to have these conversations, set that expectation, so you know exactly what you're looking for to take that relationship from a relationship to a marriage. And this way, she's not tripping off you if you say, I was expecting this, and she's not giving it to you. Because some women, I've seen women that cook good meals, feed a dude real good, wash his clothes, they be rubbing his feet good, not married, and they go out and get cheated on, or dude leave him for somebody he was dealing with. Who knows? But I've seen women go out here and give wife-level service to somebody who did not marry them.
I mean, I'm even gonna lie. You know, I've been on both spectrums. I've given wife service to somebody that did marry me and even had those issues. You know, so what I'm saying is, it's like there are never guarantees. What I can say though is that, just be who you say you are from the jump. If this is the type of person that you are, don't act like you like to wash clothes and you don't. Don't act like you like children and you really don't. You don't. Like, just be who you say you are, because I promise you, it's going to come out. Over time, it's going to come out. And you can pick and choose what you want, but you're not really going to have a solid foundation, especially when it comes to the whole submitting, if this person is finding out all the things that you're not. And they're like, whoa.
But did you see how quick old girl turned in that text message?
Oh, yeah, she
turned
turned
quick. It didn't take 2 bubbles. She went that same bubble. She replied back.
She got right back.
Like, what is you on?
Yeah.
Like,
I bet you if we were in the middle of the text message, you would have saw them little dot lines if she was on the iPhone.
Oh, you bet.
Real quick, someone's
you
typing.
Bet we gonna talk when we get home.
Right.
You finna get back in line.
He was like, we gonna talk about this.
And when I sit here and talk about this, man, I'm not talking about submission to get none of y'all going home and getting hit in y'all eye by y'all woman, or getting that food.
We're not trying to
money.
stir up anything.
We're not trying to get no
I mean,
drama,
because quite honestly, you know, everybody is dealing with it. They deal with it in their own way. We have our own little personal talks, like where we talk about how we feel about certain things. So yeah, I mean, everybody is gonna at some point go back and probably chat on it. But it was just good to be able to peek back into it because we know that it meant something. I'm gonna go into the last comment here real quick, where someone said that they felt that it's a requirement on both the husband and the wife, and there's no other way around it. They said that you definitely need God to do it. And I wanted to point that out because I thought it was really good because, you know, you have some people that are in marriages and they don't attend church. They don't, you know, church is not something they really are into, which, hey, we're not saying there's anything wrong with you deciding that's what you want to do with your life. But those of you all that are really trying to, you know, walk in the way of God, walk in the way of your faith, you know, this was something that was stated in the Bible. This is something that God, like you started off from the very beginning, you know, wives, submit yourselves to your husbands, and husbands,
submit yourself to your
wives. So it does work on both ends. And I think if you fashion yourself around the word of God when it says that, then I don't think you could lose. But
being honest, with us both going to church and playing pretty good roles within the church, and just like that, you know, a lot of people in church are listening to us and looking to us for, you know, if I'm out here wilding out and then coming home to her, it's gonna make her look bad. If she's on Instagram or Facebook with her stuff all out, wilding out, it's gonna reflect on me in that situation. So the best thing that you always do, which we say 100 times out of 100, communicate. Let your partner know what's expected before you get married.
Right.
This way you don't have that situation. And then even with that, we know that a lot of people follow us and deal with us that are not in church, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But because my thing is, what my bag is and what your bag is two different things. I'm not trying to tell you turn your life over to Christ. I wish you would. But if you don't, then I still love you, and Jesus' hand is always out. Because we're going to get into another video, another topic where I'll be like, sometimes it's that try Jesus, don't try me.
Try
you know,
Jesus.
Play with your mama, don't play with me. You know,
play with your mammy.
But sometimes we got to be that way. But that's my whole point of when you already have a relationship where each one of you can draw your lines.
Right.
And each one of you can write down what you expect.
Right.
And I know, like, between us, before we took our step, we was getting counsel left and right. But as much as I was like, I think we were doing good. Man, you're going to have one day where somebody gets you tested and that one button gets pushed and you like...
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to get that break and calm down. But that's why I say you just have to communicate.
Right.
And
don't. And the thing is even if you do have that clash, it's okay. I think that a lot of times people, you know, one situation and I'm out. I'm done. You know, and I think that you have to give yourself room to be able to grow in that relationship. Give yourself room to be able to understand what makes them tick, what makes you tick. And I wish the best for all relationships out there. I wish that, you know, they work very well and that they are prosperous.
And the more you talk, the more you grow together.
The more you grow, and and also being open, you know, make sure that when you're talking, you are being open, and not just open and honest. You know what I'm saying? You can't grow if you don't know how, you know, and if a person is withholding, you know, certain things from you, you can't really grow forward because there's still going to be missing parts. So don't be afraid to be open, even if it's going to be painful. Be open, get it out, air it out. And I just wish the best for all of you all.
And thank you for all the responses. I guess we'll label this submission part 2.
Submission.
Part 2. It's going to be
Part
like a
2.
20-part episode with all these responses we get on it.
Right.
But we just want to thank everybody for watching us.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be hitting another video soon.
Mm-hmm.
And good night and God bless.
Bye.